Okay, thank you. Welcome to the Animal Nursing Assistants Open Evening. I'll go through what you kind of entry requirements you might need for this course and kind of what we do in the course as well. So if you do have any questions, please let us know, pop them in the chat, or you can ask at the end as well. Okay. So my name is Callie and I'm going to talk you through the Animal Nursing Assistant course and all you need to know. I am a registered veterinary nurse and I'm also the course tutor for the Animal Nursing Assistant course and lecturer in veterinary nursing. I'm also a previous student from Barony and I qualified in 2014. So I know Barony quite well and local to the area. And so it was nice coming back to actually teach future VNs, ANAs and animal care students as well. I'll pass you on to Rachel.
Hi, so my name is Rachel and I'm here. I am losing my words this morning. And I teach on the veterinary nursing degree and the ANA course and also animal care. So I'll see you probably around campus and definitely take you for a few of your modules as well whilst you're here.
Okay, my PowerPoint's just taken its time, it's disappeared. There we go. Technology. Okay, so if you don't already know that we are based at SRUC Barony campus, so in between Dumfries and Moffat, so just off the motorway. So if you're not unsure where we are, that's where we are, Barony campus. We do have several campuses, Edinburgh, Elmwood, Aberdeen as well, and Oatridge. So we are based at Barony. So we are quite a rural campus. We have a huge grounds where if you like walking and things like that, you can go out for walks. We have a good big football pitch as well. As you can see up in the picture at the top there, we have a lovely, beautiful campus. We do have open days as well. So I don't know if some of you have maybe already been to our family fun days, usually in May, June time. If you have been to the campus, you know how great it is and how wonderful and beautiful it actually is. So for the Animal Nursing Assistant course, we have lots of different lecturers that could be teaching you. We are registered veterinary nurses. We also have registered vets and we have instructors in animal care as well, which we'll talk you through and go through your practical sides of things down in the Animal Care Centre, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. We've got quite a few different animals down in the Animal Care Centre. We've got staff pets, so staff dogs down there, and then we have a range of different species as well. So we have things like snakes, tortoises, ferrets, rabbits, guinea pigs, birds. We've got a wide range of animals down there that you'll get to work with and handle and learn how to kind of look after them, clean them out and feed them as well. And the nice thing about, this campus, I said about if you like walking, that we have the dogs there as well. And part of the course sometimes is to take dogs out a walk. And we always kind of encourage that to kind of keep you fit and healthy. So for the Animal Nursing Assistant course, for the entry requirements, some of you might be wondering what the entry requirements actually are for the ANA course. You will be expected to have a minimum of 3 national 5s from an A to a C. Preferably these should be in English, maths and a science subject. If you have equivalent qualifications or English qualifications, then just get in touch and then we can look at your case individually. We also require 1 Nat 4 as well. We do also, on top of the entry kind of requirements, we do expect 1 week's work experience in a veterinary practice. So you might already have experience, volunteering at an animal rescue or a dog rescue centre, but we actually do ask that we have 1 week's veterinary work experience. The reason we ask for that is because working in a veterinary practice is very different to working in like a dog's kennels and things. So we need to ensure that this is actually what you'd like to do. And having 1 week or more, preferably we do like 2, but if you've only got 1, that's fine. And having that week would just kind of help you make your decision as whether is this the right course for you. And hopefully you will enjoy it and you'll come to study with us. Next one. So the course is a 1-year programme. It is full-time. Usually it is based over 5 days. I will go through an example timetable with you in a wee moment. I think it might be in the next slide. There are 3 college blocks, so you'll come onto campus for several weeks, and then you'll maybe go out into veterinary practice for 2 weeks, and then come back to us, and then again, and so on, going back and forth. So 3 college blocks. There is a mix of theory and practical delivery, so you'll learn about all the theory in class, but we will do a bit of practical in class. So we do tend to try and mix things up so that you're not just sitting in a classroom listening to us, that we do have a variety of different things going on. So we do a lot of kind of bandaging, CPR, teaching you how to provide medications, so administering subcut injections, giving tablets, and again, you've got that practical side of things down in the animal care centre where you'll learn how to look after guinea pigs, snakes, all that sort of thing. So you get to learn the kind of nutritional needs that they require and their accommodation needs that they require as well. You will have to undergo work experience while you're in the ANA course, and we'll talk about that in just in a wee moment, just in a wee short while. We'll talk about the work experience separately, just so that you fully understand what is actually required for in this course. The ANA course can give you progression options onto the VN studies. Now, the reason it's got asterisks there is because it varies depending on your qualifications. So we usually work on an individual basis. If you're unsure, then get in touch and we can talk you through what requirements you might need. And then we also have a careers advisor on campus as well that can help with that. But just to let you know that if you do not have hires and things, it does not give you the progression straight onto vet nursing. It might be that you need to go and do another course first before actually going on to vet nursing. But again, we can talk about that separately on an individual basis. The ANA course is a professional recognised qualification. So once you're qualified as an ANA, you can then go and work in the veterinary practice as an animal nursing assistant, or sometimes they're called animal care assistants as well. So you can work as an animal care assistant as well. I'm going to move this wee box out the way. There we go. So I said about work experience, so every student will be required to complete several weeks of that work experience over the duration of the course. I explained that you'd have college block, then you might go away for 2 weeks on work experience and then come back. This work experience must be undertaken in a veterinary practice, and it usually is in 2-week blocks. The dates are still to be confirmed for next year, but they are usually around about October, December, February and April. So during those months, you will have 2 weeks in a veterinary practice. So again, I'm not confirming that is the absolute definite months, but that will vary depending on the year. So we do let you know as soon as possible. As soon as we know, we'll let you know when those dates are. It is expected as well that you find these placements and secure them by yourselves. However, I am here as course tutor to help you with that. So if you need help finding a placement, then just get in touch and I can help. Preferably that we have the work placement in place before you start your course, but that's not necessary. We don't actually have to. You do have time when you start with us where if you're struggling to find a practice, I can help with that and help you get into a suitable practice near your own hometown. So it doesn't have to be in Dumfries, your work experience. If you're from Glasgow or Edinburgh, you can get work experience from there. There we go. So just a little bit more about work experience, the kind of things that you might be doing while you're away. Now, this will vary on the practices that you go to. You might get a chance to do some reception work. You might get a chance to help with taking weights before the patient's surgeries. You'll be helping cleaning up after surgery, so cleaning and sterilising surgical kits. You might help with taking vital signs, so taking a pulse, respiration and temperature, and then restraining patients as well. So you might help restrain patients in practice. And the list goes on. There's many more kind of things that ANAs can do, but this just gives you a kind of list of some of the things that you might see when you're in practice. So this is an example timetable. So this timetable that I'm showing you at the moment is actually from this year's cohort. So you can see there's a variety of different kind of teaching modules on the timetable here. So you can see that we've got teaching Monday to Thursday with the Friday with nothing in there. So the Friday here this year is expected to be a revision day. So that day allows for any revision that you need to take place, or if you need to come onto campus to sit any further exams or anything like that, that is what we'd use that Friday for. So at the moment it's Monday to Thursday, but that Friday should be left available for any kind of revision, or if you're needing to come onto campus for any support or extra assessments or anything like that you need to do. So if I give you just a brief rundown on the different kinds of modules, so I'll go over some of them that we cover. Delivering basic treatments, and we teach you how to deliver basic treatments. So it could be bathing, grooming, how to administer a tablet, how to administer spot-ons, how to administer a subcut injection, all these things. Now this is one of the modules that's actually delivered in classroom, but it's also delivered down in the animal care centre as well, where you'll be doing the practical side of things for this class down there during your Thursday duty session. Anatomy and physiology, so you learn all about the body and how the body works, how the heart works, how the patient breathes. It's really important to know as an animal nursing assistant, especially if you want to go and do vet nursing. A&P is very important. Okay. Providing animal nursing could be a variety of different things. So we could have first aid, so you might get a chance to assist doing some practical CPR sessions. You might get to do some bandaging, doing some vital signs, so learning how to take a pulse, learning how to take a respiration rate, learning how to take a temperature, and that will help you for going into practice as well. Safe working practices, infection control and parasitology. So again, just learning how to be safe in practice, how to disposal of waste, and learn about all the different parasites that you might see in your dogs and cats and things. You will get a chance to have tutorials with your tutor, which is myself. So every block you will have a chance to meet with myself. If you do want more tutorials, we can book that in and you can certainly have more, but usually we just give you one at a time for each block. But if you do, you can ask for more. Terminology, learn about all the different terminology in the veterinary world. It's quite a big list of different words, but I'll teach you all the different types of words that you might come across in practice and know what they mean. Exotic, so learn about all the different exotic species, snakes, birds, guinea pigs, all that sort of thing. Kind of learn how their anatomy works, how they should be housed and fed. And then again, you've got another session of A&P there. So we've got two sessions of A&P. On a Wednesday this year, you can see that we actually offer core skills. So what core skills is basically numeracy and communication. So if you require maths to get into your vet nursing, if that's what you're lacking, then we do core skills. So you'll be able to build your English and maths during that session. We also offered a theatre skills this year, where you actually got a chance to go down to the animal care centre and help and assist in a live theatre. So the students this year helped with a cat spay, so they came in, they helped with the prepping of the patient and observing the theatre. Work placement and study, so that session is basically just covering work placement. Yes, you have to go into work placement, but that session there is primarily just for us to kind of get to know each other, find out where you're going, what practice you're going to be at, what kind of practice you're going to be at, and then there's some paperwork that we need to fill in for that. Accommodation, feed and water is just learning about how the animals should be housed and how they should be fed. And then I briefly spoke about a Thursday. The duties is down in the animal care centre, where you will get a chance to work with all the different animals down there. So walking dogs, learning about housing rabbits, birds, snakes, tortoises, fish, knowing what kind of feed that they should have. And then you'll be doing things like, you'll be doing the practical side of things for delivering basic treatment and nutrition as well. And then a Friday, just your revision day, and any kind of further things that we need to bring you onto campus for, we'll use that Friday as a catch-up session, really. Okay, I've already mentioned we do a lot of theory and practical. I've said that we're doing you might get a chance to do some bandaging, some learn about vital signs, general health check of dogs. So lots of practical learning. We'll do practical sessions in the classroom as well. So it's not all about just sitting listening to theory and going through a PowerPoint. We like to try and mix it up for you. Small animal handling, again, you'll get a chance to do that on a Friday, working with the different species that I've already mentioned. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a background of what we also do is not this year's cohort, but last year's cohort actually went on a study tour to Gap Africa. And here are some of the pictures from that. So the animal nursing assistants actually went on this trip with the animal care students, and they had an amazing 2-week trip away in Africa, looking at lots of different species over there, elephants, lions, lots. So this year the students haven't been yet, but they are going to Ecuador. So last year it was Africa, and this year they are heading off to Ecuador. And again, they're going with the animal care students as well. Student support, so just a little bit about student support. We do have student support on site on campus, so if you do require student support, then they will get in touch with you. You can get in touch with them, and you'll get a chance to meet them. If you do decide to come and study with us, you'll get a chance to meet with them on the first week you actually come onto campus. So during your induction week, they'll come and say hi, they'll see if there's any kind of student support that you feel you might need, and they'll go through that with you. Okay. Thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?
Right, so just to double check, am I live at the moment? Sorry. Yeah, sorry, my laptop's going really, really slow. It's not updating at all. So there's been some questions that have come through that I've replied to in the chat, but we'll just speak them out as well, just again, if people are maybe watching this recording back or might have similar questions. So the first one was, how many do we usually have in a class? Now this really depends. Sometimes you can have kind of upwards of 20, 25. Sometimes it can be a slightly smaller class as well of kind of 10 students. So it really just depends on how many applications we have. But regardless of how many students we have, as we say, we try and keep it as kind of practical as we can, and you still get those kind of one-to-one sessions with your tutor. And equally, we offer kind of one-to-one lecture support as well, if there's any areas that you're maybe struggling with or needing a little bit more support with as well. So that experience doesn't change regardless of how many students are in the cohort. The next question we had was looking kind of what your career path could be from getting this qualification. So once you get this qualification, it allows you to work in veterinary practice as an animal nursing assistant. Now, it's named a number of different things. So sometimes it's called a veterinary care assistant or a VCA, or sometimes it's vet technicians, I want to say, as well, can be kind of covered within your ANA qualification as well. So being that supportive member of the team that's helping kind of with inpatient care, as Callie said, delivering basic treatments to animals, helping with restraint, husbandry, and general healthcare of the animals whilst they're in the practice as well. With the qualification, if you wanted to go down the route of kind of working in kennels and catteries, that would be supported with your ANA qualification as well, albeit you will be covering quite a lot of kind of the veterinary side of things with this qualification itself. It can lead you into kind of progression routes as well, as Callie had mentioned earlier. So you could potentially progress into animal care, HNC animal care, or equally, depending on your qualifications, we can, as I say, increase your numeracy and communication skills, which could aid your application for vet nursing, or equally be a kind of a stopgap to a further qualification to get you towards your veterinary nursing goal at the end of the day. There was a question here as well on rural animal health, and if we can progress into that from this course. My advice for anyone who's looking for kind of routes into other courses would be to get in touch with our admissions department, and they'll be able to advise you appropriately on your next steps within the qualification that you've chosen to take. And the last question we had here was looking at if you can still apply without work experience, and yes, you can, okay, as long as you're still actively seeking veterinary experience and you can achieve that prior to the start date. But again, we can take each on a case-by-case basis, so please don't worry about it just now. If it's something you're interested in, it's a course you're really, really interested in, just pop your application in and we can take it from there. So please don't worry at the moment if you don't have that experience. So we will also have an open day on campus as well. Obviously, getting to know us online is one thing, but if you'd like to come down to the campus and see the facilities we have here and equally kind of demonstrate the campus we have. So as Callie was saying, we've got lots of nice walks around campus, lots of wildlife. Come down and see us on the 17th of March, sorry, just keep myself right, checking the date there. And we'd be more than happy to show you around, tell you a little bit more about the course in a little bit more detail as well, and get to meet more of the team as well. So a bit more kind of open for questions, communications if you're still unsure. Okay. Another question's just come through. Does rural skills count as the NAT 4 you need to get in? I'm not overly sure, unfortunately, on that one. Again, my advice would be just to get in touch with our admissions department and they'll be able to keep you right with your qualifications for entry. As I say, I'm not 100% sure on that one.
The other thing to note as well is if you're unsure, is just pop your application in anyway, and then we'll look at it then. But yeah, certainly speak to admissions.
So I don't know if you heard Callie there, just as I'm the one who's live. Sorry. So just to say to you that if you aren't sure, you can contact admissions, or your other option is pop in your application anyway, and we'll be able to let you know one way or the other once we receive it. So please do, as I say, reach out if you're not sure as well. And also, just if you can see in the chat or the question side of the screen there, Devon has just provided you with the number to contact admissions if you're not sure or have any further questions on your qualifications and what it takes to get into the course there as well. And yeah, there will be a registration. So if you keep a wee eye out on the social medias for SRUC, you'll see information getting popped up on there. And as I say, pop down, come and see us, say hello. It'll give you kind of a nice understanding of who we are in a little bit more detail rather than over camera. And we'll also get you a little bit of kind of insight into kind of what we do, maybe some tasks to get you to carry out as well when you come down, some kind of hands-on experience to an extent as well, and meet some of the animals on campus too, which is always exciting. Was there any other questions at all? Does anyone have anything else they'd like to ask? No. Grand. Well, if you do think of anything, by all means, do just reach out and get in touch, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that come through as well. They can get forwarded to us as well. But I hope you've found this session interesting, and you've got some of your questions that you maybe thought of answered prior to thinking about your application. But do pop your applications in, as I say. Even if you're not sure, pop those through, we can have a look at them and then we'll be able to advise you appropriately, or contact admissions as well, and they'll be able to give you an understanding of exactly what we're looking for entry requirements from other courses as well. Thank you very much.